Angel Reese has called herself the Michael Jordan of the WNBA, but now Shaquille O'Neal, one of the biggest names supporting her, is making a very different comparison. Shaq questioned whether Reese can really be considered a legend when Clark is in the picture, and he even suggested that Sophie Cunningham, who wasn't selected for the All-Star Game, is more marketable than Reese. That matters even more because Shaq is involved with Reebok's basketball division, so when someone with that level of influence starts questioning a player's market value, it can become a serious issue. Now, let's break down what happened during the WNBA All-Star Weekend in Chicago, what Shaq said about Reese, Clark, and Cunningham, and why those comments could potentially affect Reese's future opportunities. During the game, Clark stole the ball from Reese before A'ja Wilson stepped in with a block. Wilson then joked that she wasn't even trying to make the play, and the moment turned into a lighthearted exchange as she and Reese hugged and laughed. Shortly afterward, Reese went down and Wilson helped her back up. It was a fun moment between the players, but that entire sequence also became one of the moments people remembered most from Reese's All-Star Weekend. Reese had a completely open look right under the basket with no defender within 3 feet of her, yet the shot still wouldn't fall. There was no hand in her face and no real contest, just a simple chance that hit the rim and rolled away. By Saturday night, that clip was all over basketball social media. Then things got even tougher. On the next possession, A'ja Wilson blocked Reese, without even needing to jump. Wilson simply stayed upright, put her hands up, and still managed to get a piece of a shot. As Reese turned to get back on defense, she stumbled over Wilson's foot and fell, while Wilson barely had to move. 3 straight moments against the same player, and Reese looked completely out of rhythm. What made the footage stand out wasn't only the missed opportunities, but what happened afterward. Reese's body language changed. She didn't immediately get back into the play, and the frustration on her face was obvious. Moments like that often get replayed far more than a normal missed shot because fans pay attention to how a player reacts when things go wrong. In that sequence, Reese appeared mentally frustrated, and that became just as noticeable as the plays themselves. And this wasn't happening during garbage time either. The sequence came in the middle of a 9-minute stretch where Reese failed to score at all, no matter what she tried. 9 minutes without a single point is tough enough, but it looked even worse in an All-Star game, where defense is usually relaxed and players regularly put up big numbers. Even with plenty of open opportunities and little defensive pressure, Reese couldn't turn those chances into points. The cameras also caught reactions from the bench, with some players laughing while others stayed quiet, creating an awkward atmosphere that made the whole situation feel even more uncomfortable. After the game, A'ja Wilson was asked about accidentally blocking Reese's shot and explained that she wasn't even trying to make the block. She said she was simply trying to get out of the way and normally avoids blocking shots during All-Star games because she doesn't want to play that aggressively in an exhibition setting. Social media quickly took over from there. Within hours, the clips were turned into memes, and jokes about Reese calling herself the Michael Jordan of the WNBA spread across social media. The criticism wasn't only about missing a shot. People were comparing her huge self-confidence and public image with what they believed they saw on the court. And this wasn't just one bad sequence. It became part of a larger weekend filled with moments that kept Reese at the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. One tough moment followed another for Reese, and the box score showed 9 minutes, without a single point in an exhibition game, where scoring is usually much easier. But the criticism didn't stop there. The day before, another moment involving Reese quickly became a major talking point at All-Star practice. During the event, Barack Obama arrived at the gym, and the entire atmosphere changed as players realized a former president was there. Everyone was watching to see who he would greet first. Obama then walked directly toward Clark, stopping to shake her hand and speak with her while Reese was nearby. Clark received the greeting, conversation, and attention in front of the other All-Stars, while Reese watched from a short distance away. The moment immediately stood out because Obama could have approached anyone in the room, yet he chose to go straight to Clark. For Reese, it became another uncomfortable moment during a weekend that was already filled with intense attention and criticism. Obama told Clark not to let all the negativity affect her and encouraged her to keep enjoying the game despite the pressure surrounding her. He even explained that he was fortunate not to become famous until he was older, because fame at a young age can bring a lot of unwanted pressure and attention. That made the moment stand out even more. Obama wasn't simply another celebrity visiting the gym. He was a former president speaking directly to Clark about dealing with the spotlight. In a room filled with some of the biggest names in women's basketball, he chose to spend that time with Clark, giving her advice and showing genuine support. Meanwhile, Reese was nearby, but wasn't part of that interaction. The contrast quickly became a major talking point online, especially because Reese has openly compared herself to Michael Jordan. Cameras captured the entire exchange, and social media quickly turned it into another debate about the difference between Reese and Clark. For critics, the moment added to the growing idea that Clark continues to attract major attention from influential figures while Reese struggles to receive the same level of recognition. A missed layup is one thing, but being overlooked by a former president in front of your fellow players is a completely different kind of moment. Obama continued, encouraging Clark to enjoy the game, reminding her that she was playing well and telling her not to let the outside noise take away her happiness. Clark smiled, joked with him, and eventually took a picture with him and the other players. The video spread quickly online, and many people focused on the fact that Obama never interacted with Reese during the exchange. Fans began comparing that moment with the criticism Reese had already received after her missed layup, creating a narrative of two uncomfortable moments happening within just 2 days. But the weekend had another major moment waiting. The attention shifted to Caitlin Clark's new CC ones, and the reaction from the All-Star players was immediate. Even though the shoes weren't officially available to the public yet, players were already gathering around Clark's locker and asking how they could get a pair. And it wasn't only lesser-known players showing interest. Several major All-Stars were clearly excited about Clark's shoes, creating another moment that put the spotlight firmly on her. Courtney Williams wanted a pair, Natasha Cloud was interested too, and Jonquil Jones was also right there asking Clark about getting the new shoes. The excitement was obvious, with players joking around, checking out the sneakers, and talking about wearing them during the game. Jones even said she was going to wear them that night to support Clark. What makes that moment stand out is that Jones had just been named MVP of the exhibition game, yet she was openly showing interest in Clark's signature sneakers instead of simply promoting her own gear. The scene showed how much attention Clark's shoe line was already getting from other All-Stars before the shoes had even officially reached the market. Players weren't just asking about the sneakers. They were excited enough to want to wear them immediately, turning Clark's locker area into one of the biggest attractions of the weekend. That moment was more important than it first appeared. When the MVP of the game is openly asking for another player's sneakers instead of focusing on the gear she already represents, it shows how much interest Clark's shoes were generating among the players. Reese was standing nearby throughout the entire exchange, watching as her fellow All-Stars gathered around Clark and asked about getting her new sneakers. Reese then mentioned that she also had her own shoes and offered to give them out, but the response was noticeably quiet. No one stepped forward or showed the same excitement, while the attention remained focused on Clark's shoes. That contrast quickly spread online because the visual was so easy to understand. Clark had players surrounding her asking for sneakers, while Reese's offer received little reaction. Behind the scene was also a major business difference. Nike is backing Clark's CC1 signature shoe, while Reebok is backing Reese's footwear line and has been positioning her as one of its key basketball faces since she entered the league. The reaction from the players made the difference in attention impossible to ignore. One pair of shoes had All-Stars excited and lining up to get them, while Reese's shoes were offered and received almost no reaction. That contrast sparked a bigger conversation about which players are actually driving interest inside the league. In the locker room, Clark was talking with Courtney Williams about having matching shoes, while other players joked about how limited and exclusive the sneakers were. Clark even agreed to sign them after the game, creating another memorable moment for the players around her. The bigger point is that this wasn't simply about advertising or social media hype. It was about what the players themselves wanted to wear when there was no reason to pretend. Clark had created that demand through both her popularity and her performance. She didn't simply arrive with a major shoe deal and a famous name. She had built attention by producing on the court. In the All-Star Game, Clark came out firing, scoring 11 points in the opening 3 minutes before many fans had even settled into their seats, and she was clearly not finished there. By the final buzzer, Caitlin Clark had made 5 three-pointers from well beyond the normal range, finishing with 17 points and 5 assists. Her performance made it look like she was playing with a completely different level of confidence and intensity. Clark opened the game by scoring quickly, then continued knocking down deep threes, including 3 from near the logo within the first 3 minutes. Her shots weren't simple three-pointers either. She was taking them from several feet behind the line and still hitting them with confidence. What stood out even more was that Clark wasn't treating the All-Star Game like a casual exhibition. She was still applying defensive pressure, challenging shots, and looking for passing lanes while many players were easing back on defense. That effort made her performance stand out because All-Star Games are usually much more relaxed. Players often use the event to have fun, show off, throw creative passes, and take low-pressure shots rather than compete at full intensity on both ends. Clark brought a different approach, combining her scoring with real effort, and that helped make her performance one of the biggest talking points of the night. Clark played the All-Star Game with a mindset that every possession mattered, even though there was nothing at stake in the standings. She kept attacking, hit another deep three, and continued making plays while the rest of the game had a much more relaxed feel. Away from the court, her All-Star weekend was just as busy. Clark took part in charity events, met with fans, and handled several sponsor appearances involving brands such as State Farm, Wilson, and Nike. She also personally handed out her CC1 sneakers to teammates and fans, creating genuine moments where people received the shoes directly from her rather than through a staged promotional event. Clark later talked about how much she enjoyed the packed weekend, saying that even with so many activities happening, she never wanted to take an opportunity like that for granted. The combination of her performance, fan interaction, and non-stop schedule showed why so much attention continues to follow her both on and off the court. Clark explained that she wants fans to see her as genuine because she understands what it feels like to chase a dream. She talked about growing up playing different sports, competing with boys, and simply enjoying the opportunity to play without thinking she was different. Her message was that not everyone will become a WNBA player or professional athlete, but young people should still feel encouraged to dream big and pursue whatever future they want. That message created a strong contrast with how Reese's All-Star Weekend was portrayed. While Clark spent much of her time meeting fans, attending community events, and building personal connections, Reese's weekend appeared more focused on VIP settings, photos, and a carefully designed image for social media. By the end of the weekend, the difference between their public brands seemed clear to many viewers. Clark had the statistics, the demand for her shoes, the packed schedule, and the direct connection with fans. Then Shaquille O'Neal spoke about the weekend, and his comments attracted even more attention. Shaq has been one of Reese's biggest supporters since she entered the professional league. He has featured her on his podcast, praised her rebounding ability, and spoken about her potential to become one of the league's major stars. He had also discussed Reese's desire to become an iconic figure and even connected that ambition to having her own Barbie doll. Because Shaq had supported Reese so strongly in the past, many people expected him to continue backing her after the All-Star weekend. Instead of continuing to praise Reese, Shaq appeared to come away from the weekend with a very different view after watching everything unfold. The 9-minute scoreless stretch, Aya Wilson blocking Reese without needing to jump, Barack Obama going directly to Caitlin Clark, and the huge interest in Clark sneakers all happened within the same few days. When Shaq was asked why so many people are drawn to Clark beyond her basketball ability, he pointed to her deep three-point shooting and compared the excitement around her to what he felt when watching Stephen Curry do something he had never seen before. That was a major change from Shaq's earlier comments, when he questioned whether Clark could handle the size and physical style of the WNBA. Now, he was openly praising her and calling her the real deal. But his comments about Reese were even more damaging. Shaq directly pushed back on the idea that Reese is already a legend, which immediately clashes with Reese's own comparison of herself to Michael Jordan. His point was that legendary status has to be earned through what a player consistently accomplishes, not simply claimed. Shaq also explained that Clark has already shown things he had rarely seen before, especially her ability to make difficult shots consistently. He recalled watching her during the Final Four and being amazed by her shooting, saying he naturally supported her because he has always respected elite shooters. Shaq explained that when he watched Clark take difficult shots, he kept expecting her to miss, only for her to knock them down again and again. In his view, repeatedly making shots that seem impossible is what separates a great shooter from someone who is truly special. He then turned his attention to Sophie Cunningham and questioned why she wasn't selected for the All-Star roster, even suggesting that she could have taken Reese's place. Cunningham has become an important and recognizable part of the Indiana Fever alongside Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull, and her growing popularity has made her one of the team's more marketable players. Shaq mentioning her while discussing Reese created an obvious comparison between the two. The business side of the story also adds another layer because Shaq is involved with Reebok's basketball division, while Reebok has backed Reese's shoe line. That means his public comments about Reese's current status, while praising Clark and highlighting Cunningham, carry more weight than a normal opinion from a retired player. However, that does not automatically mean Reebok is planning to end its relationship with Reese. The claim that this could cost her deal remains speculation unless the company confirms a change. What is clear is that the All-Star weekend created a major contrast in attention, with Clark generating strong interest through her performance, popularity, and sneakers, while Reese faced criticism over her play and public image. With Clark, Boston, Mitchell, Hull, and Cunningham forming a deep Fever roster, the team has plenty of pieces around its star as it continues pushing toward a stronger season. So, who are you backing? Caitlin and Sophie, or Angel Reese? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WNBA updates and stories.